Welcome back, Trisha.
Buongiorno.
We're going to talk more about classic Italian cinema.
Oh, yes.
Another horrible Italian ripoff. I want to say my regular co-host, Newt, he suggested this movie to me when I asked him about Italian ripoffs.
Does he hate you?
I'm not sure. Here's the thing, Newt knows a lot of Italian ripoff films. He's a fan of Italian ripoff films.
Is he?
He suggested this movie to me without never actually seeing it.
Oh, God.
So all of the movies he could have recommended, he recommended this one.
Proprio questo.
Yeah.
This one.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I messaged him while watching it. I'm like, this movie's really bad. He's like, oh, I've never actually seen it. I'm like, this movie's really, I'm like, you have no reason to see this. So we're watching The Return of the Exorcist from 1975. What is the Italian title?
Un urlo dalle tenebre.
Which translates to?
A scream from darkness.
A Scream from Darkness. Now, this has the alternate title of The Possessor, which is probably more accurate.
Probably.
Because the Exorcist in this movie, I don't think he's returning from anything.
No.
Also, and this one doesn't really make sense. I guess they tried to release this way later, but this is from 1975. Exorcist 2 came out in 1977, but there's an alternate title for this called Exorcist 3: Cries and Shadows. So I guess this movie was sitting for a while. No one liked it, and then Exorcist 2 came out.
Right.
And then they tried to repackage it in some territories as Exorcist 3. Not as good as the real Exorcist 3, which is a very underrated movie. Very good movie.
I've never seen that one.
Oh, no, it's legitimately good. The only problem with it is the studio forced them... One, they forced them to call it Exorcist 3, which the writer-director hated, because no one liked 2.
Right, so why are you going to see the third?
Yeah, no, that's exact... People were like, well, I'm not going to see the third one. And 2, they forced them to put an exorcism... There wasn't going to be an exorcism in it, and they forced them to put an exorcism scene.
I mean, it's called The Exorcist.
It wasn't, though. It was called Legion. It was because there was a book. It was based off a book, and they were like, "No, you got to call it Exorcist and put an exorcism in it." Other than that, the movie's great.
Great.
Unlike this movie.
Unlike
this movie, which is the final film of Richard Conte.
Conte. Sorry.
Who played Emilio Barzini in The Godfather, who was like one of the rival families. Mm-hmm. He's the one guy in The Godfather who's like, we're not communist or something.
Non siamo comunisti. Yeah.
And this is his final film. That's kind of sad.
It's sad.
If this was my final film, I'd be really depressed.
Yeah. I mean.
So the problems with this movie start right away. The first credits we see are cropped off on both ends.
Yeah, they're horrible. It's horrible.
I'm guessing there was a widescreen version of this movie, and when they made it, they put the matte box on, but they didn't realize the text was too big.
So when I was watching this, I thought there was something wrong with my TV, and I was like, wait, why is it not wide? Why is it that? Because
TVs used to be 4:3 full screen,
right,
instead of widescreen. So some all VHSs full screen, and they would put matte boxes on to make it smaller. But they would try to reformat the screen so everything fit.
Right.
But this movie didn't.
No.
Because this movie's not very good. And then the next thing we see, it's white credits on a white backdrop, and I had to strain. I'm I have no idea what it says. No black outline around the credits.
Nothing.
What is this? But there's one credit that you saw.
There is. So when they have the first ass director.
Demetrio
Sore. I don't know. Yeah.
There was a lot of ass directing in this movie.
There was. It was very fitting. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then I realized it was assistant director. I was like, oh, okay.
I would love to know where they got this footage from, because it's clearly not for this movie. Where are they at the Vatican?
I have no idea.
Is that Rome?
It looks like Rome. So it seems like it's Rome, but it's not really the Vatican. It kind of looked like the Pantheon area.
Okay, but
that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, and they're clearly doing an actual announcement because everyone's paying attention.
Right.
And it's a huge crowd, so there's no way this fucking movie could afford it. But there's some people who are staring into the camera because they are probably wondering why they're being filmed.
What's happening?
But the audio is all
cheap.
Now you lived in Italy for a number of years.
Cheap.
Is it normal for someone to get on a loudspeaker and be like, "Hey guys, the devil's a real asshole. Watch out for that devil"?
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
No, that's not.
I don't think that's a normal thing. No.
No. Okay. Maybe it was a thing in the 70s.
Well, they have loudspeakers when they're coming down the street, and they're like, "We have mops for sale." They'll do that.
Mops for sale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or there's some mattresses on the back of the truck if you'd like to buy some mattresses.
I've
heard that.
That's what Italians are doing.
That's what they do to this day. Yeah. Yeah. They sell stuff in the back of their truck with loudspeakers. Never like, hey, the devil is on his way.
No, just, hey guys, we got mattresses.
Right? Got mattresses.
Watch out for the devil and get a mattress. I had no idea they were selling mattresses at the back of
They really do, yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's one way to sell, I guess. All right, so yeah, they're making the announcement. They're like, hey, the devil sucks. Watch out for that devil. And then so the Italians, they don't like waiting for things. Mm-mm. They don't like building up to things.
No,
they're like, well, this is a ripoff of The Exorcist. People are going to expect like a demon thing. So they show like the possessed kid.
They just get right into it.
Fucking away.
Yeah.
And he's all like, I'm evil. And I couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl.
Neither could I. At first I thought it was a girl, like the original movie.
Yeah.
They were ripping it off.
Yeah.
Right? But no.
Well, the real story it was based off was a boy, so maybe they were just being accurate.
Exactly. I thought that.
Yeah, so he's all like, oh, I'm evil, and then we get Satanic cult is having some ceremony, and there's a naked woman because Italians made this.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actual Italians. I don't think Italian Americans.
No, they were real Italian.
I filmed one naked chick in a movie. My entire film career.
You're not really Italian then.
I guess I'm not. No. I'm not. And it wasn't even a sex scene. It was almost about to be a sex scene and it gets interrupted. So I guess that's it. But actual Italians are like, well, this is clearly
we need some action, right? We need to get people motivated. Get it in.
So why is everyone so perverted than Italy? Like, what's going on over there?
I have no idea. Italians are just Latin lovers. I don't know. They just like naked people.
I don't know if it's Latin. They seem like scumbag. I don't know.
That too.
Anyway, I've watched a lot of these films. I know what these people are going for. But yes, there's a satanic cult, and then everyone decides to get naked.
They just start stripping and...
Yeah, for Satan. That's apparently what you got to do for Satan.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either. I don't think the people who made this movie know, but they were like, that's probably something evil people do.
Probably what they do. They just get naked and have orgies.
Then we find out, the kid who is possessed, his sister is a nun, and he attacked her earlier. In the actual Exorcist movie, like I said, they build up to Regan getting possessed.
Yeah.
But they just want to skip all that bullshit because they got to show naked people. Mm-hmm. They're like, forget all that build up,
matter.
all the subtlety. We need naked people. And the doctor's like, hey, you got to put your brother in a home. He's not doing well, and she's like, oh, that won't help him. And I'm kind of on the doctor's side because so far he's not doing anything supernatural.
Right.
He's just beating people up and cursing.
Just being a little asshole.
But this part made me uncomfortable. The nun says she dealt with an insane asylum.
Yeah.
And then it flashes back, and I pointed out to you it's on a different film stock and a different camera. I think that was actual footage. It
was real footage. There's no way it wasn't.
Yeah. It was. I think that might be actual footage.
It was very scary. That's probably the most disturbing part of this whole movie.
Yeah, because it's probably real.
Exactly.
And it might not be, but if it's fake, then that's the most effective part of this movie, making the film look different. And that's too much work for this movie.
Yeah, I don't think they really did.
So
that
I started
purpose.
Feeling bad. I'm like, oh, I think that's an actual women's hospital, and they're all getting you see a couple of them get punched and stuff. I'm like, oh, it's
not okay.
But yeah, then I take back what I said earlier, because then the brother starts blowing up dishes
with his mind.
Yeah, it seems kind of lame. If we're at this part, if this was early, if this is early in his possession, like The Exorcist, there was little things in The Exorcist, the candle shoots the fire out, some things move,
a little bit of.
But if he's full on tied to the bed, I want to see his head spinning around, I want to see a demon come out.
Exactly.
But no, a dish blows up, and she's
his bed levitating.
Yeah, and then she goes to confession. But it's not really confession, because she's just telling the story of her brother.
Right.
Which I don't think you do that.
You don't really do that in confession.
No, I feel like if I
you go to a therapist.
Yeah. Or no, maybe you do want advice from a priest, but wouldn't you skedule an appointment? Why would you do that in the confession?
In the confession.
I'm wondering because we went to Catholic, we grew up together. We went to Catholic school, and we would all be in the confession. Sometimes we'd be waiting on both sides. Yeah. And I want to know if there was someone listening in on this whole story.
Yeah.
That's just like...
Wait, you just gave me PTSD. Like, that was the worst experience of my childhood. Like, I would get so nervous going into this confessional.
We can't say his name. Let's not say his name.
Monsignor told me, when a little third grader, I was like 8 years old, he told me I was going to hell.
He did that a lot. He never told me I was going to hell. He blamed the Iraq war on me and my family.
What?
Yeah, because he's like, when's the last time you went to church? I'm like, I don't know, it's been a couple months. He's like, no wonder we're in a war. And I'm like, I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know, you might want to, I think even the government would be like, no, eighth grader not going to, I don't think that's part of.
I don't really think that's how that works.
I was very critical of the Iraqi war, but I don't blame myself for it not going to church.
Oh my God, that guy.
Anyway, so I'm imagining like someone just like was like, hey, I cursed the other day, and they're probably expecting a Hail Mary, but they're listening to this whole story.
Right.
But then the film flashes back and then starts probably where the actual film should have started.
Right. Finally, we get some sort of storyline.
I mean, you can do a framing device that starts at the end and goes back, but you have to
do it right.
Yeah, this one's not doing it well.
No.
Oh yeah, so the kid who was going to be possessed, he's walking around and he sees a naked devil lady.
Yeah, he just starts taking pictures of her.
And he just starts taking pictures of her.
Normal. There's a naked lady. Hey, let me
take a
picture.
And she's like, what? And she's like dancing and like I don't know, if I was like that age and I saw a naked girl in the woods, like I wouldn't be like, I'd be like, oh shit, that's an insane, like if they were just dancing, staring at me, I'm like, oh my God, someone got loose from a hospital, I need to get out of here.
I would be really scared. There's something wrong here.
Yeah. And so he's like, guys, I saw a naked girl. They're like, whatever. And then they're at like a party, and it's the saddest party.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a party.
No, they're dancing in a living room, but they're all dressed like they're at this famous, this like flashy thing, but they're just in a living room. Like, this is like really sad.
There was like 6 people too. Like,
yeah. I've never been at a house party where there was slow dancing.
No.
Never. Ever.
It's not really a thing.
But then he starts getting seduced by evil. And the first evil thing he does is spray champagne on his girlfriend.
That was so evil.
What a way to behave. Are you crazy? Go and apologize at once.
Yeah, on the list of like evil thing, like that could have easily passed that off as an accident. But then
that's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
I thought like it was supposed to be like a joke.
But then it gets weird because she starts freaking out.
She freaked out.
And then she runs out of the house into the night.
Yeah.
The real night, not day for night.
Right.
She runs into the night.
She's like, I'm gone.
And no one follows her.
No. They're
and
like,
I'm like, is no one worried? Like, I think that girl is like not good.
She got sprayed with champagne, but she's okay. Let her go.
Yeah, that's more of a I gotta run upstairs and change thing, not I gotta run out into the darkness.
I'm laughing because this is hilarious. You just sprayed champagne all over me. I don't know.
And then for some reason it's revealed that the boy, he was real close with his sister, because the mom is like, I sucked as a mom. His sister was more of a mom, and he's pissed that she's a nun, but I don't understand why.
I don't know. It's your sister. Who cares?
Yeah, and then Devil Lady tries to seduce the boy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I gotta kill you for some fucking reason. And she's like, oh, he doesn't want to bone me? Okay, kill me, do something evil. I guess he just gotta do something evil. And this is actually the one scene I kind of like. So while this is happening, his girlfriend is just dancing at a real club, not another living room. She's dancing at like the worst lit club I've ever seen. Are clubs like that in Italy? Do they look like dimly lit?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
This film is just horrible. It's just horrible.
But then again, you weren't there in the 70s, so maybe.
That's true. I'll have to ask my dad.
Yeah, ask him if he ever went to a creepy club that was barely lit. But this is actually cool because so he cuts the devil lady's throat, but then his girlfriend's throat is cut.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't.
Why are they connected? Yeah.
I don't understand the logic of it, but I thought that was just a cool visual that she like dies on the dance floor.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
No,
and then I'm not clear if the mom gets attacked. And I'm not sure if it's the boy as the devil lady or the devil lady's doing it.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that the devil lady made sure to rip her clothes off.
Of course.
Because this movie, I don't know if you guys have figured this out yet, it's made by Italian.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know.
And then this part blew my mind. So the girlfriend who died, she was at the club. She was with friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because then the cops are like, she said your name or had something of yours, so we need you to identify the body. I'm like,
where are the friends?
Where are the friends? Like, yeah, I'm like, I'm sure someone there could be like, oh, that's Janine, or she's dead.
Exactly.
Like, I thought
like
that was weird.
Her.
And the devil lady tries to seduce the mom for some reason. I don't even know.
Well, maybe because the devil lady kind of possessed him at that point because he killed her or his girlfriend, whatever.
I guess, but why is she trying to seduce everyone?
And
not even like, when I think of like the devil seducing people, I'm thinking of them like offering them something they want and being
not
more
like
subtle.
Sexually.
I don't think I've ever seen the devil be like, I'm gonna rip your goddamn clothes. I'm like, all right, I thought the devil was more like subtle about it, right? Because he's like evil and stuff. He's not just running around ripping clothes.
Right, just raping people.
Yeah,
basically.
That's basically what this devil is. And I'm like, wow, I thought the devil had like, I don't know, maybe I have higher expectations of the devil, I don't know. After doing End of Days and Devil's Advocate, I have higher expectations. Okay, so the brother realizes he's being controlled, and his sister starts getting haunted by like poltergeist, like things are moving around. But who gives a shit about that? We gotta go to more bunga bunga parties.
Of course. Was Berlusconi there? Probably.
Yeah. So this movie is wall-to-wall bunga bunga parties. Google it if you don't know what that means.
Don't Google it.
Yeah, but I swear to God, they shot one day of the orgy.
Yeah.
And just sprinkled that footage
all over the movie. Like it was just random little pieces.
Just randomly. And then like I don't even know if it's happening at the same because one of the guys in the ceremony, I think there's a flashback later in the movie and that character's there. So I don't know if that's supposed to be in the past or the present. Also, I want to point out they're not actually having sex. They're just kind of rolling around.
Yeah, it's just naked people. Just
I'm like, was that their... it was so fucking dumb.
Weird.
This movie's so bad.
I fast forward through most of it. I'm not gonna lie. I could not sit there and watch it.
I have it written here. I often don't recommend fast forwarding movies, but when it's a movie like this that clearly they didn't have enough material, so movies have to be like 80, 90 minutes to get into theaters or to qualify as a feature length. This, and to play on TV and stuff, you got to hit that 80, 90 minute time whatever the hell this movie killed my brain. So clearly they didn't have enough time, so this movie drags things out. Like something scary will happen, like here, look, like I'll talk and then a ghost knocks this over. Any other movie, this movie it'll be and then hold on it for so long and then look around, or if it's not that, it's just the sex scenes
for no reason
and just like over.
Hey, people like this, let's just throw this in here
and
make
it's like
longer.
It's clear like they just were trying to like run out the time, so I was like, yeah, you can fast forward this. Anytime there's a sex scene, anytime something scary happens, fast forward a minute until the next scary
that's
thing.
Exactly what I did.
Because that chick's gonna be reacting to it for a long time.
Horrible.
So they finally remember that they're ripping off a movie.
Which one?
The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it? It's really good. They finally remember they're ripping it off, and they start doing the scene where, remember they were like doing the medical experiments on the girl, medical tests. They start doing that on the boy. And they're all negative. There's nothing physically wrong with him.
Of course, he's perfectly healthy.
Which is like the movie The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of The Exorcist?
Of course not.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You should probably see it.
Probably. After this one.
And then the flashback finally ends. We're finally back at the confessional. And the priest is like, all right, I'll see what I can do about that. And then he does like research, and then we flash back to the 1700s.
Yeah.
Because we need an origin for Devil Lady.
Of course.
And it's like she was seduced by evil, and then she tried to seduce other men, and then she had an unholy baby, and something about her. I'm like, this is overly complicated.
It really is.
It's kind of like the Cruel Jaws. Like, we know what you're ripping off. We get it.
We don't need an explanation.
No, most Exorcist movies, they don't really give a demon explanation. Like, maybe a little bit, but they don't go into these full fucking backstories. Yeah. Like, what did it recently? Hereditary. Remember, you read that thing about, like, the King of Hell. It's like a page, you look at it, got it. It's not like they stopped and then they went, oh my God.
And they went back, yeah.
I saw 1700s and I'm like, what the fuck are we watching?
What are we doing?
Yeah. So then the boy tries to trick his sister the nun, who, keep in mind, has not taken her habit off.
Yeah.
Which I don't even think nuns wear those anymore. I think very few nuns actually wear those, or have worn those for a very long time. But
I haven't noticed. In Italy, they do.
They do?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Growing up, I saw some would wear them sometimes, but not all the time. But
yeah, they do in Italy.
Well, they're also selling mattresses off the back of trucks in Italy, apparently.
They're a little behind in the times.
Who would buy a mattress off the back of like a pickup? Is it a pickup truck?
Yeah.
No, don't buy it. At least wrapped in plastic.
They're wrapped in plastic. Yeah.
All right, they went the extra length there.
They did, yeah.
But anyway, the brother is trying to trick her and is like, "Oh, please untie me. I feel much better now." And then he rips her habit off and we show that she's bald.
Right. What was the reason behind
I
that?
think when she said that she spent time in the mental hospital, I think she might have been a patient.
Oh.
But I don't understand how that leads to you being...
No hair.
Like, I guess, like, women's prisons back then, maybe they did shave her hair so people would stop fighting.
Maybe she was, like, sick. She was, like, pulling it all out.
But, like, I assume if you're not in the hospital for a number of years and you're a nun now, I assume it grew back.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I didn't know if we missed something for, like, why it was actually bald.
I didn't get that either.
But she's very upset about it. She doesn't like having it pointed out. In The Exorcist. The real Exorcist. It's a good movie. You should see it.
Good movie.
The priest, Damien, who was the real-life father of Jason Patrick from Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Oh, no.
That's a random fact that I'm never going to be able to bring up in any other video. He's also, what's-his-face's son? The Damien from The Exorcist, the priest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's his son.
No shit.
He's aging better than his dad.
I
he's
think
not
so.
a raging alcoholic. So, in that movie, he was a priest, but he was a medical he was like a psychiatrist first, who became a priest. So he actually has to like convince the church in that movie to give him permission to do the exorcism, because exorcisms aren't like, no one does them.
No.
How did they get an exorcism?
Well, the first thing, I'd have to get him into a time machine and get him back to the 16th century.
That's one of the good things the original Exorcist movie does, is like, it takes a really long time to get this shit approved in the modern day. But no, in this one, the church recommends to the doctor. The doctor's like, I don't know, like, this kid's messed up. The church's like, we're gonna give him an exorcism, be fine. It's like, wow, like, that's it?
Right.
I think you have to, like, go through the higher ups. You gotta, like, prove a lot of stuff.
They're Italians. They should know this, right?
Is it faster in Italy? I don't know. I don't know if it's just faster in Italy.
Maybe it's just like a thing in Italy.
You know what? They're closer to the Vatican. They can get approved fast. This is the 70s. They don't have to send telegram. They can just go. They woke up the Pope. And they're like, hey, there's a guy spinning his bed around. He's punching his sister. And they're like, all right, exorcism. So then the Exorcist shows up. And the music they play for him is just like...
Oh, yeah. It was like very like happy.
I'm like, you either do like scary, suspenseful music, like it's building up, or like heroic music. Like you don't just do like
yeah, it was like
here we're gonna try this. I'm gonna add the music from Return of the Exorcist into the famous scene of The Exorcist when the Exorcist shows up. Let's watch it. So the priest gets to the house, and he's strutting around like you think he's a badass, and then he hears the boy, like, cursing, and he's, like, shocked by it. And I'm like, I thought this guy was, like, an exorcist. Like, I thought he'd be ready for this.
Exactly.
And he seems, like, pretty, like, oh, my God, I wasn't expecting that.
What the hell were you expecting,
And I have it written here. This exorcism is fucking lame. I don't even remember what he does in the movie. Does he throw holy water on him?
I think I just fast forwarded it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's totally fine.
I don't know.
And it really pissed me off that they didn't... The demon's voice coming out of the kid is...
It wasn't matched with it. Like, he wasn't moving his lips.
It was like telepathic. Because I guess they didn't want to lip sync because that's too hard.
It was horrible.
You know what movie does do that?
That pissed me off.
The Exorcist.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
They heal the kid or whatever, and then the nun gets possessed. She now has that thing on her chest.
Yeah.
And she's all like, well, I gotta kill myself now. And it's like, wait, you're a nun. I feel like the Catholic Church has strong feelings on suicide. Yeah, by the way, you're a nun. You could probably get approved for an exorcism pretty fast. You probably know some
Exactly.
Hey, that exorcist, he's in town. I don't think he's gone back to his home yet. Be like, hey, by the way, I'm a demon now. The devil lady danced her way into my soul. No. Can you please come here?
I want to mention,
yeah,
because we forgot
what,
that instead of the pea soup,
he's
actually throwing up some pasta fagioli.
Is he really?
Yeah. So I think that's the Italian version of pea soup.
I forgot that they even tried to attempt the piece. You're right. Yeah, they don't. When it comes to ripping off The Exorcist, some objects move around. The throw up.
Yeah.
The bed spins, which actually isn't too bad of an effect.
No, it was a good effect, yeah.
But his head never spins around.
No.
Like, that's the thing that you try to rip off, right? The head spinning around.
You would think, but I guess because they ripped off so much of it that they were like, nah, that's too much. That's just too much right there.
I just don't think they knew how to do the effect convincingly.
That's probably.
I think I saw a movie called The Turkish Exorcist. That's probably not its real name. I saw a clip where that girl spins her head around, and it's like so shitty how they did it. So these guys probably saw that movie and they're like, we're gonna look like idiots. Let's just film more. Let's just film more naked people rolling around on the goddamn ground.
That'll make up for it.
And then the movie ends on like a cliffhanger where a little boy finds the. So was the medallion haunted? Was that in the backstory that I didn't pay attention to?
I don't know.
Something about this medallion was burning people and giving them the devil. So
but then he like looks up and he's like, and then there's like a lady singing. So I was like, is this little boy looking at the naked lady?
I guess so. Yeah. So this movie was horrible.
Awful.
This movie is really. I feel bad for like, if you were in Italy and you like the Exorcist movie, and then you see Exorcist 2 and you're like, that sucks, and then you hear of Exorcist 3 Cry in Shadows, and you're like, oh, this one will make up for that. And then you watch this, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Exactly. Well, you're like, oh, this one's Italian, so it's got to be good, right?
Right, here's what I want to know about Italian moviegoers.
Uh-oh.
So are they like idiots? Like, do they know that this isn't a real sequel, right?
I hope so.
Do they get easily tricked by this stuff?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay, because remember on rental reviews, you had a cameo in rental reviews for that movie we did, Night Killer.
Yeah.
I was watching her video, learning to speak Italian, and that movie, it was called whatever Texas Chainsaw Massacre was called in Italy. They tried to pass that off as the third one.
Right.
But clearly, when you start watching that movie, you're like, this isn't that.
No.
Like, who's falling?
But people believed that though.
Huh?
Did people believe that?
I don't know. Maybe. Enough.
I hope not.
Enough for it to be a cult film and be on Blu-ray. This one is not on Blu-ray, by the way.
So Italian movies used to be really good. So the past, right, like Italian cinema was such a big thing in the past.
Okay.
And I guess moving forward, since the US film industry kind of just took off and kind of took over the world, basically, like everyone loves the American movies.
Yeah.
Italian films kind of like tried to copy that, but they didn't really get there. So Italians love watching American movies. They love watching foreign movies. Yeah. They'll have like an occasional, comedy or drama, whatever, during the year. But most of the movies that we show in Italy are American movies. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if they actually think that these really shitty Italian movies are serious. I hope that they don't, since they are used to.
Didn't they used to rip off westerns all the time, like spaghetti western?
Well, spaghetti western, yeah.
Yeah. Was that a thing?
Not really rip off, like they just did that.
But was that like a case where like that was so successful and they're like, we could do it with other American franchises? Like, no, we're not even American. Like, there's a lot of Italian Mad Max ripoffs. Mm-hmm. They're not very good. No. They're not very good.
Well, wait, what was the other one? The Italian Batman or? Oh
my God. So, Newt, who recommended this piece of shit to us, he told me that actor was in multiple movies. So there's Italian Batman. It's a porno. Yeah, it's actually a porno.
That's so funny.
And if you were wondering if the guy playing Italian Batman was a famous porn star with genital warts, you'd be right. And if you're wondering if this actor with genital warts got roles in other films that show off his genital warts, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh my god.
Italian Batman, I've not seen the full film. But there's one famous film, and me and Newt have used the music from it many times, where the famous scene in the film where Italian Batman, what's the main thing Batman uses for transportation?
The Batmobile.
Right. In this one, it's a bicycle. Just a normal bicycle. It doesn't even have bat wings on it. He's riding down a hill, and the actor looks like he doesn't know how to ride a bike.
It's so bad.
But it was still better than The Return of the Exorcist.
I would imagine. You know what? I would probably watch that.
Yeah.
5 times.
Yeah.
And this one never again.
He at least wears a bat suit in that one. It kind of looks like the Batman.
It's kind of like Batman, yeah.
By the way, so the Exorcist doesn't return in this. He's just a sign. And I don't even get, like, the Exorcist in this, he's just there. There's no, I don't remember any build up to him. Like in the first one, depending on what version you watch, sometimes it starts off with the Iraq scene where the old guy is in Iraq. And then throughout the film, they're like, hey, we know this guy, Father Merrin, he fought a demon once. There's like a build up to that character. This one, they're like, hey, I'm the Exorcist.
I'm here. Let's do
I was in The Godfather. Did you see that movie? All right, let's, I'm dead now.
Oh man.
So yeah, don't watch this movie.
Just don't do it.
Don't, and also don't hire people with genital warts to be in your porno. Unless you're trying to make some full statement about it, I don't know. And speaking of all that, Trisha, where can we find you again? Because this is a new episode. Say all that stuff again.
So so you guys can find me at Trisha's Italy on Instagram, Facebook, as well as TikTok. I do Italian language lessons as well as Italian culture, Italian American culture. I've lived in Italy for a while, so I am actually here visiting and anything you want to know about Italy, I'm your girl.
Oh my god, did you hear that music? Oh no! Trisha, it's the devil! Oh. Here he comes, it's the devil! Oh my god, he's so evil, and look at his dance moves,
Oh my god!
Trisha, I think I'm being seduced by the devil.
Me too, what is happening?
I suddenly want to do evil because of his erotic dancing. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Alright, I worship Satan now, you won me over.
In bocca lupo? Grazie? What does it mean when someone says to you in Italian, in the mouth of the wolf? In bocca lupo is used when you want to wish someone luck. It's the Italian version of break a leg. However, we don't respond grazie, thank you. We actually say crepi, 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 crepi. Crepi means may it die. So you don't want to get eaten by the wolf. You want it to, for those of you studying Italian, in bocca lupo.